Welcome to the EPISD Digital Discoveries, exploring the world of education technology in the El Paso Independent School District.
Hi, welcome to this segment of Digital Discoveries. We're going to be looking today at a cost comparison because the previous two segments that we did were on creating a digital document camera using an iPad, and then we looked at some apps that go with it, and today I'm with my friend Karen. Hi Karen.
Hello,
is
how
Karen
are you
Wright
doing
Balbier.
today?
I'm fine. And you know, these days and these times, people are always looking for, are we getting a good bang for our buck? Are we getting our money's worth? And that's especially true with technology.
And with teachers.
Right. And so a lot of people look at devices like this, you know, and there's Android devices, you know, this isn't the only one. And they say, well, you know, it's nice, but is it worth it? You know, is it worth it? And so what we've done today is you've actually done kind of a little cost comparison if we used our document camera iPad setup.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about, before we go into the detail, what did you do?
Well, basically what I did is I looked at a typical classroom setup. If I walk into a classroom here at EPISD and it has all of the equipment that a teacher wants, it might include an interactive whiteboard, a document camera, digital cameras, video cameras, and so forth, right? So I took the cost of all of those items and then I compared it to our setup because, of course, many people look at the cost of an iPad and be very alarmed.
That's right. They look at that and they go,
It's
you know what,
$500.
this is kind of an expensive thing to be putting out, you know, giving to every kid or giving out to the campuses.
Exactly.
And so what did you find when you did it?
Well, I found that a lot of the technologies that campuses are spending their money on cost a lot of money as well. And cumulatively, if we put all of those items together, the grand total is actually much more.
Okay, so let's look at what you did. Let's kind of look at this cost comparison chart that you did and see what you came up with.
Okay, so the cost comparison for classroom technologies. First, we look at the average price for an interactive whiteboard.
And this is the whiteboard mounted on the wall just by itself or on a stand? Maybe.
By itself.
Okay.
And of course, the price could vary a couple $100s. It could be $1,000 or $1,400.
It could go a little bit lower too. There's ones that are a little bit lower than that.
And then I looked at the cost of the iPad, which alarms many people.
Right. And this is the typical iPad that's going out in our campuses right now. The $499 one, which is just the low-end Wi-Fi version. It doesn't have 3G. It's got the lowest amount of memory in it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So those two things.
Okay.
And then back to if I have my interactive whiteboard, I'm going to also want a document camera.
Okay. This is the type of document camera that actually we sell through our warehouse. So if a campus wanted to buy a document camera, they'd order it from the warehouse. This is what they would get, and that's how much they would spend on it.
Right. In our district, of course, prices can vary. If you want a top of the line,
your actual price may vary.
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay.
Okay. And then we looked at, of course, if you have an iPad, you don't necessarily need a document camera. All you would need is a VGA adapter for the iPad, and that's $29.99.
Okay. Because you got to get the signal out.
Right. You want to be able to connect your iPad to the projector, and you want to be able to display a document that you would like to share with your students.
Okay. What else you got?
Okay. So we looked at, again, that typical setup. A teacher would like to have a digital camera in their classroom so they can display student work, right? And in our warehouse, there's a digital camera for $60.
Okay.
Looks like it's about 3 years old.
Okay.
Okay. And,
that's an editorial comment.
sorry. The iPad 2, though, well, the digital camera is already built in. So when you pay that one flat fee of $499, you have the digital camera in there as well.
Okay.
Okay, and it takes up less space, right? Less equipment.
Okay.
Okay, typical video camera here in our district in the warehouse, this Kodak is $154.
Okay.
So you can take digital video.
Right, and so you can either record students working or the students can actually record work as well.
Right, and they can create their own digital stories as well. And with the iPad 2, well, the video camera is built in, so.
So not only do we have the digital camera, but we also have a video camera into it as well. Okay.
Right.
Okay, great.
Okay, then we looked at, okay, well, if I want to create something with the camera and the video camera, I'm going to need a place to store, right, my digital content. And so that would be a laptop if you have that interactive whiteboard setup and the document camera. And those could run $500, $600. Again, the cost can vary.
Okay, typical EPISD one with the warranty and is about $600.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And the iPad too. Well, you can use this instead of your laptop. Of course, there are some limitations like flash.
Right. Okay, so we're saying here that for the most part, an iPad can work as a laptop.
Right.
Okay, so what else we got? Then what'd you do?
Okay. We also looked at many teachers that have an interactive whiteboard want something to hold in their hand so that they can actually maybe pass a bamboo, which would be this, to their students to click or to explore an interactive site.
Okay.
And so that actually costs $99.
Okay, and that goes with an interactive whiteboard?
It doesn't actually come with it, but many teachers will purchase it separately so that, again, they don't have to send their students up to the whiteboard.
Okay.
Kind of defeats the purpose there, but okay. Then the iPad 2, well, the touch screen is built in. And the thing that I like more about the iPad 2 versus the Bamboo is I can't actually see the screen on my Bamboo, but on my iPad,
or your Mobi, for that matter.
Exactly, I can touch, I can see everything, and the students are seeing what I'm seeing as well.
Okay, we've got some software that we got to add. Okay.
Right, of course. You're going to buy software for your PC. You're going to buy software or apps for your iPad. So I just looked at a simple software that our district actually has purchased. Comic Life is $19.99 per
That's
computer.
if you bought a single license of it. If you bought,
Right.
Yeah, that wasn't like if we buy 3,000 licenses.
Right.
But if you buy a single one, it's $19.95.
Right, just one. So if you wanted this on 4 computers in your classroom, you would spend almost $80.
Okay, and then what do we have here?
Okay, you could buy an app, and the app would be $4.99.
Are you finding typically that the apps for the similar desktop program are much less than?
Yes, they're less. Of course, you can't do quite as much, but you can still get the basic job done.
Okay, so what do you have here?
So the grand total for that setup.
And this is for a classroom setup.
A classroom setup.
Okay.
Interactive whiteboard, $1,200. Document camera, $269. Digital camera, $60. And
Grand
so forth.
total?
$2,401.99.
Okay, this is just a ballpark estimate.
Ballpark.
Your prices may vary. And then for the iPad?
$533.98.
So you pretty much have the same functionality that you would have, one being $2,400, same functionality, basically less than half the price, maybe even a quarter of the price.
Right, and if you gave me a choice and I was paying for it out of my own pocket, which a lot of teachers do, I would probably opt for $533.
And so your summary is what? What do you say?
Well, in the classroom, I had the interactive whiteboard set up, the document camera, and I'll tell you that all of those things are awesome. They're amazing. And in fact, I found also that I had some tripping hazards, many cords, a lot of equipment, not enough space to put my equipment on. And then
Not a lot of cords.
No, now I have an iPad and I don't find myself tripping over things. I'm still able to interact with my students. My students are able to interact, and it's very portable. If I needed to share with another teacher or my grade level, this is very easy to share. Whereas my interactive whiteboard, I can share it, but it's going to take a lot of moving.
Okay, so I guess what we're trying to say here is that when campuses are looking at buying technology equipment for themselves, that they should start looking at ways to extend that dollar and say, are there alternatives? For instance, in this case, we showed in our segments, and what you're showing is that a device like this can be used in multiple ways that sometimes we don't think about doing. For instance, we're using this as a document camera and as the functionality of an interactive whiteboard. Once you get that functionality going, you're going to save some money.
I think you'll save a lot of money.
Okay, Karen.
Let me share with you something else, though. We went ahead and took the prices and thought, well, a typical elementary classroom.
Oh man, that's a lot.
36 teachers, that would be the total, right? Most people don't have that in their budgets.
That's a lot.
And a typical elementary classroom, 36 teachers, with the setup that we talked about today, would be about $19,000.
That's an amazing. That's essentially a quarter of the price.
So if there's a budget crunch, I mean, it's an option, right? A way to consider.
It absolutely is. Karen Wright Balbier, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you guys for joining us today. We appreciate you watching this segment of Digital Discoveries.
Thank you for joining us on the EPISD's Digital Discoveries. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to seeing you next time.